This is Business LO, a podcast by the Lake Oswego Chamber of Commerce, which connects, educates, advocates, and champions our business community. We have nearly 500 members from international corporations to home-based businesses, and we serve them all. Each episode of Business LO gives insider information to the local business community and the neighbors who support them. And now, let's talk Business LO.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for episode 2 of Business LO. Today is August 27th, 2024, and this will publish on September 1st. I'm Michelle Odell, here with Liz Hartman, CEO of the Lake Oswego Chamber. And of course, we want to thank our episode sponsor, Tom Diamore with Diamore Law Group. We are rolling up our sleeves and discussing all things health and wellness today. We have the LO and Westland Wellness Fair at the end of the month, where you can engage and learn from all the health and wellness opportunities throughout our community. And we have a special guest to help us get prepared for what I call sick season. We have Brianne Whitney. She's the president of operations at Maxim Health Urgent Care, and she has 5 excellent suggestions for keeping employees healthy and happy this season. Now, things that you may have not thought of and trends that we should be aware of. It's going to be a very important conversation you're not going to want to miss. And of course, we're going to have what you need to know in LO. All the things going on around town. So Liz, let's get down to business and talk about the amazing Lake Oswego and Westland Wellness Fair, all the details and what we need to know.
It's on Sunday, September 29th. It'll be from 11 to 3 o'clock at Millennium Park Plaza. And this is a time to nourish your mind, body, and soul in a whole lot of different ways. We have booths that will address your medical needs, your wellness needs, your information needs. I know we have a lot of parents who have children and have parents of their own that they need to take care of. We have folks who can tell you about Social Security. We have folks who can tell you about insurance. We have medical practitioners. You can get a quick blood test and see what your blood sugar is or what your cholesterol is. We even have some folks who will be having B12 shots or demonstrations from the Stretch Lab. There are so many different ways that you can learn about mental health, about addiction, about anything that has to do with your daily life. Most importantly is that most of these booths will have either the owner or manager there. So you're speaking to someone who really knows what they're talking about. And some of those folks will be featured on the stage to do presentations, short presentations of 15 or 20 minutes. Last year we had the fire department come in to do an exercise program, but this year they'll probably come in to talk a little bit about hands-only CPR. We're one of the cities where we have a very, very high success rate of people living beyond when they have a heart incident, because we have quick response from our fire department, but also because so many people in this community know hands-only CPR. Some of the folks that will be featuring booths this year are First Nurses, Body 20, Moonstone, Robert Field, PhD, McCreary Benefits, One Peak Medical. The Trainers Club will have some demonstrations from the Trainers Club. 100% Chiropractic will do a few hands-on things. One of our sponsors is Travel and Cruise Desk, and certainly travel is a great way to take care of your wellness.
While we're at it, Liz, go ahead and just tell everybody all the sponsors that are helping us make this happen.
Well, our silver sponsors are Maxim Urgent Healthcare, who you've heard about today, and the insurance store Northwest. And then our bronze sponsors, we have Orange Theory Fitness, and they will be doing some demonstrations, as well as the Trainers Club, the Travel and Cruise Desk, and Northwest Natural. Northwest Natural will be providing some tent space so you can keep dry in case of rain, but we're looking forward to a beautiful day on September 29th.
And also, she wanted to join the conversation about the wellness fair because she knows how important it is. We have Heather Graves Ramsey joining us as well. Heather, tell us what you're looking forward to at the Health and Wellness Fair.
I'm just excited. Last year we had over 600 people, and that was just our first year. Lake Oswego is so into well-being and health. This is one way for people of all ages to come and find out what are some ways that they can improve theirs, and what are some of those little gems that are right here in Lake Oswego that they may not even know about. It's a really low-key, easy way to do that. No pressure. Just come and find out and also see some really great friends that you haven't seen in a while.
Is there any shout out that we need to give?
Yes, we have Wyatt Moon returning this year. We have Summit Orthopedics as a brand new group, and Clackamas Women's Services will tell us about everything going on in Clackamas.
It's basically a one-stop shop for all your wellness questions and needs, and you're going to get demonstrations and little gifts and goodies. It just sounds like a great place to learn about a lot of the things you're not even thinking about and getting yourself ready for the cold and flu season coming up.
Most of all, it's right here in the backyard of Lake Oswego and West Lynn.
Exactly. So easy. What about parking?
There's always parking available in the parking structures since we're right off Millennium Plaza. And since it's Sunday afternoon, you should be able to find free and easy parking around the area.
And we have a special guest to help us get prepared. We have Brianne Whitney, President of Operations of Maxim Health Urgent Care. She has 5 suggestions for keeping employees healthy and happy this season. Maxim came to Lake Oswego 2 years ago. They can handle urgent care, basic care, and some specialized care, and even school athletic physicals at the great price of only $20. So joining us now is Brianne Whitney. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to Lake Oswego.
I've been managing and running urgent cares for the last decade. I got the opportunity to partner with my boss down south to open up the urgent cares up here in 2022. So that's we were living in California at the time, and my husband and I decided to come up here, and we were lucky to find a spot in Lake Oswego and kind of has grown since then. And it's just been a great experience ever since.
Yeah, I know we all love it up here, and that's one of the reasons we started this podcast, so people can know more about it. Okay, so let's get down into the nitty gritty. You have top 5 ways that employers can help folks be happy and prevent sickness, and a little bit more. So tell us about that.
Some might be specialized for our clinic because we're a clinic and urgent care, but some of the main ones we do that aren't really specific to the healthcare is just really acknowledging mental health and not making it taboo. So it's something we discuss a lot with our staff as far as just how we're feeling, stressful. If it's a busy day, we just kind of check in on each other, the providers and the front staff, and I do as well, just throughout the day. Because it's just, it can be overwhelming. And especially with COVID and how the healthcare system has been in general, it's a lot. So just being aware of that, not making it a weird thing to talk about is something that's really helped the staff, I think, open up and just be mindful of it. We try to, I know the cliche is pizza parties for healthcare, but we do try to offer actually really healthy snacks at the facilities. I basically will reach out to the staff, ask them what they like. It's not always healthy, but I try to throw in some fresh fruit and good stuff too. But I stock the clinics with that for them just so they have it there if they need it. And we all get hangry. We need to have that nutrition throughout the day. So that's kind of helped a lot. And they're really good about reaching out if they're out of something or if they like to try something too. A lot of what we do, and we're actually, signed up for the Health and Wellness Festival in Lake Oswego, is encourage local events and festivities. That's just something to get out there, get in the community, get to know local businesses and the smaller businesses. And we really have started having staff run the events with me. It started off with just me and my manager, Kim, but now we're all kind of joining in. And we did the Lake Oswego Pride event. A few of our staff did, and they loved it. And it's just kind of getting out there and getting motivated to be around town. Something that could be everywhere that's important are staff huddles and meetings. Meetings are kind of based around I did something wrong, or we need to correct something, or we need to fix something. And I don't think it's good to do that if needed, but it's not beneficial to do that often. So for us, just having the morning huddle of okay, what's the plan today? What do we got? How many patients? What are we going to do? And then just having meetings once a month of just kind of checking in. We talk about the important things that need to be fixed, but also just what can we do event-wise? What can we do social media-wise? What are some fun ideas that you might have to bring and contribute to the team?
And everybody's on the same page because everybody is hearing the same information at the same time. That's
very important. Yeah, because it just happens with all jobs, gossip and then miscommunication, misinformation. So it's just good to be on the same page. I especially love that. I'm a big communicator, so I just need to make sure the staff knows what's happening. If they have any questions, they can reach out to me. I'm really just always available for them.
Okay, excellent.
So for us, especially, and because we're an independently owned clinic and facility, it was easier. I have offered daycare and childcare for our staff. Myself and a nurse practitioner included, we just had babies recently. I say recently, it's been a year, but it's nice to say recently when you're trying to lose that baby weight. But we needed daycare and it's hard. We needed providers, we needed something to do. So we were able to set aside an office for that to make it safe. And then we also have other staff coming and going to come get their children, bring them to hang out while, they're waiting for a ride or something like that. Just something that's available for them so they don't have that stress of daycare and, running to go get their child. So it has really helped the staff feel less stress for that. And
Right.
it's about communication. Patient care is still first. Patient care will always be a priority, but we're able to help the staff make it a little easier on their lives too.
That's beautiful.
And then for our clinics too, we also offer free visits. It's just for our staff, but we offer employees, their spouses, and children under 18 free visits at our clinics, as well as free flu shots each year. They definitely take advantage of that. So I feel like that's helped as well. So even if they're calling out, they're able to at least get seen and treated and taken care of right away. So they're not suffering.
Brianne, what would you recommend to our employers who have a lot of contact with the community, our restaurants and places like that? Vaccinations or things you recommend?
I do. It can be controversial. Some people do not want to have a vaccination, and that's their body, their choice, but I highly recommend it. I mean, I'm very up to date with all my vaccines and I make sure my children are as well. Even with the COVID boosters, I've heard it might not prevent you from having it. Like most vaccines don't prevent you from having it, but it reduces the symptoms. It prevents hospitalization. It also reduces long COVID as well. And I just think it's beneficial. It doesn't hurt and it's so quick and easy. It's better to err on the side of caution than to just ignore it altogether. So flu and COVID, I definitely feel are top ones that need to be done each year.
And then we've heard a little bit about RSV. Is that
I wish we can carry it. It's very limited right now. So a lot of the pediatricians are carrying it and the hospitals. We don't have it at our facility, but I absolutely recommend it. I'm trying to get my daughter, she's 17 months, and I'm trying to get her to get it as well. It could be really detrimental to some kids, especially during the flu season and the cold season, just depending on how bad everyone gets sick.
We usually hear the recommendation of hand washing and things like that, and masks. What are you recommending these days for masks and hand washing?
It's weird to have to keep reminding people to wash their hands, but definitely you need to do that. You got to do it everywhere you go. It's just a habit. We have sanitizer at the clinics. They're free. Come and grab them. And I recommend sanitizer, washing your hands. It's needed. Masks are preference. For me personally, I still wear a mask when I'm at the clinic because people are sick around me. And if I'm not feeling well, I don't want anyone getting sick. So I just am in the practice of wearing my mask when I'm not feeling well or if I'm going to be around a lot of sick people. And that's to protect myself, but also my kids, because I have a 7-year-old and a 17-month. So they're going to be bringing me sickness, probably more than me bringing them sickness, but I'd rather protect them as best I can. And not everyone will wear a mask, but I definitely feel like if you're not feeling well, you should mask up.
Easy.
So we frequently hear folks say, well, I've got allergies. What's the difference of when you're sick and you have allergies?
It's very hard. I mean, all of them, COVID, allergies, cold, they run along the same spectrum. But the big difference I feel when you get more into the cold and flu season is really a low-grade fever. Usually with allergies, itchy eyes, you're still sneezing, you're coughing still, but there's a difference in the way you're feeling. Sore throats are typically more associated with a cold versus allergies. Now, you might have some nasal drainage to create a sore throat from an allergy, but it's typically coming from a cold first. Definitely low-grade fever, though. Certain coughs as well. You don't normally cough when you have allergies. It's usually a symptom of something else, but that's the big difference. I would say when I have itchy eyes and I'm sneezing like crazy, my nose is running because I'm sneezing a lot, it feels more like an allergies versus just a random nose running out of the blue. That's a cold.
That's really helpful for employers because you need to know how to ask your employees how they're feeling and what they're doing so you can advise which way. And the more employees you have, the more you want to protect the health of all your employees.
And I know it's tough. I mean, I work in the urgent care business, so I know you need to have people show up for work. And it's tough when you can't find help to cover when people are sick. But we really need to do away with the old ways of making people work when they're sick and really let them take off when they're not feeling well. Now, I've had staff say no, I need to work. I want to work. I'm not feeling well. And it's, we check in with the people working with them. Like, hey, are you comfortable with them being sick? They wear a mask, and we just make sure everyone's okay with it. And typically they are, because we work in a very sick field, so we're kind of used to it. But still, we really need to encourage people to take off if they're not feeling well, because it's not helping anyone. It's not going to help them. It's not helping the employer, and it's not helping the other people around them if they get sick too. So it's just something we need to work on. And I know not all people can do it. We're a small business, so we can only do what we can with PTO, but it's definitely something that's needed and necessary for staff too.
Brianne, tell us a little bit what your experience was at the Wellness Fair last year and why you're coming back this year as a sponsor.
I loved it. Lake Oswego has that great park too at Millennium Plaza. It's near all the fun stuff, but also it was really great to meet a lot of the small businesses that I hadn't had a chance to meet yet, because we're on Boone's Ferry Road. So we're a little bit off of away from like the local downtown areas and a lot of the smaller businesses. So it was nice to meet a lot of people, and now they know where we're at. A lot of them didn't even know we were there at the time. And then a lot of them also just drove by us and were like, oh yeah, I've seen you. And now I'm like, okay, I put a name to the face of the location. And so it was just really fun. We gave away so much stuff. So there's so many people like just walking around, and we were just giving away all of our giveaways. And it's fun. I love that kind of interaction. We had like a little spinny wheel to give prizes, and everyone was up for that. And it was just a really great turnout, especially for our very first year. I was amazed with how many people showed up. So I can't wait to see what it's going to be like this year.
One of the remarkable things is that every booth that was there had the owner or manager at the booth. So you were seeing the people who really knew about their businesses.
I hope it's the same this year.
A number of people are coming back, and we have some new folks that we'll be featuring.
From what it sounds like, every booth has free information. A lot of them have, like you said, little gifts and little games and things, incentives, and you walk out of there with like a goodie bag, it sounds like. So that's fantastic.
I think we actually had bags that year too. So they were just like, here, let me take this and let me go around all the booths and fill it up. But they left us some good stuff.
I had the question of, are there any things that we might have not thought of, or any trends we should be aware of this sick season coming up?
I've heard that the flu season will be a pretty rough one. They tend to gauge it off of how Australia's flu season is and kind of go off of that. But, they kind of say that every year. So really, It's always fine to just be cautious. Make sure to get your flu vaccine. And it's never too early to do it. We should be getting ours in the next couple of weeks, but don't hesitate to get it early enough, because it will last, and you could always get another one. I've heard people get second doses later on in the season as well, around like February, March, but don't think that it's too early, because it's not. You want a good week before, so you'll take it and you want a good week for it to kick in and get that immunity going up. So you don't take the shot and expect to be okay the next day, because you need it to get in your system. It's going to mimic the COVID symptoms that you've seen already. It could be hit or miss depending on how well you hold up to sickness, but just take care of yourself. Wash your hands, wear a mask when you're not feeling well. Big crowds still, I feel like you should wear a mask, and just be mindful of others around you if you're sick. My daughter hates it, but I still make her wear a mask to school, because little kids, they spread germs like crazy. So she wears one still, and it's definitely necessary.
Well, Brianne, this has been really insightful. You have great advice for people. We'll have all this information in the show notes as well. We'll have a link to Maximum Health Urgent Care, and we can't wait to see you in person for the Lake Oswego and West Lynn Wellness Fair, Sunday, September 29th.
We will be there. We'll be excited to see everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brianne, for coming on and telling us a little bit about Maxim and your experience at the Health and Wellness Fair. And we're looking forward to seeing you on Sunday, September 29th.
Thank you.
Okay, Heather, you're the president. Give us some of the news we need to know about right now.
One thing that's super exciting is our Leadership LO class is almost full. So we only have 5 possible spots left, which is amazing. And Christopher Boyer is kicking that off on September 19th. So if you are interested, you need to get in there right now and sign up. So our government affairs group was going to be doing a candidate forum, but our mayors and our city councilors that are going to be running, there's nobody running against them. What we are really excited about is that this city council is working so well together, and we have so many people who also care about the businesses here in Lake Oswego, because they know that they're a base of what makes Lake Oswego really fantastic. So we have people with that perspective in mind, and we're really excited to have them return again. And then lastly, there is a business survey, and this is really important because all of the businesses in Lake Oswego are being asked to get their input in. So the city is going to be looking at their codes. That what they want to do before they look at those codes is they want to know what's working and what's not. And so all of us businesses, whether we're a home-based business or whether we're one of the medium-sized or larger businesses, they're asking for our input of the interactions with the city. Please, if you have not seen this, if you're a chamber member, I know you've got this in your email, but if you have not seen it, please go to the website, fill that out, because not very often do we have people who care what folks are thinking, and they're asking us for our opinions. They're asking us for what's working, what's not. So please take some time, fill that out, the good, bad, the ugly, whatever it is, they need to know. And that's things like A-frames, signage, the aesthetics of Lake Oswego, your interactions of getting your license or whatever it is that you need with them. They want to know how it's going.
It's your voice. Doesn't get easier than that. Tell us a couple other things that are going on that we need to know.
So part of the chamber is for us to help educate and get information out there to our businesses. So we have 2 events that are coming up that are sponsored by some of our members, which is really important. One is on Tuesday, September 24th. There's a lunch on your lawyer, and that's at Buckley Law. That's going to be presented by Martin Medeiros. And really what he's going to be talking about is intellectual property. What are some strategies and some issues, and how do you find those issues? How do you spot those issues? If you do want to go to that one, please go to the chamber website, RSVP, because they do need you to sign up in advance. And again, that's September 24th at Buckley Law, helping you with intellectual property and all the things that go with that. Second one is on Wednesday, September 25th, and that one is from 5 to 6 p.m. It's with Anders Spack of Baron Liebman, and that one they're presenting 10 pitfalls for employers. And that's, again, these are lawyers that are offering their time to help us in the smaller businesses here. 10 pitfalls for employers, and that's going to be at Nicoletta's table. You do need to RSVP for that. There are limited seats, and I know there's a bunch of people already signed up, so please go to the chamber website to make a reservation. Both of these programs, highly valuable for employees, for our members and our attorneys. They're putting themselves out there and they're sharing with our members what they have for their knowledge, and it's just really important information to get out. The other thing that I know many of you have noticed this summer, the flower baskets. They are so beautiful. And I know the chamber is the one that's helping to get them out there. But you know what? We need a little help because we want to keep them out there. And that costs some money. So we would love to have, if you're open to it, donations. We need about $15,000 to keep these beautiful flowers out there through the first week of October. We would love to have some help. And we just want to thank Julia Fowler. She's from Cloudminders. She's one of the ones that chair that flower basket committee. And there's been over 200 flower baskets throughout the city, State Street, Boones Ferry Road, Cruise Way, and beyond. And I just can't tell you what a difference it makes to drive around the city and have it so beautiful. And we do, again, need your help. That's from individual contributors in this city that help make that happen. So we want to thank you and appreciate all the donations that we've already gotten. And we'd love to keep it going for that first week of October.
Very nice. Coming up, we have what you need to know in LO. But first, another part of making this podcast work are the sponsors, like Diamore Law Group. Let's face it, sometimes bad stuff happens. A serious injury, a catastrophic accident, or even a wrongful death. And it can turn your world upside down. When it does, you deserve unwavering support from a dedicated team. Yep, you need a lawyer. Diamore Law Group has over 30 years of experience protecting the rights of Oregonians. Their team of skilled attorneys, led by renowned trial lawyer Tom Diamore, will work tirelessly to make sure your voice is heard and your rights are protected. Here's what one of his clients had to say. Tom fights for his clients from the first day they meet him through the last day of trial. So if you need help holding those responsible for your injuries accountable, contact Diamore Law Group at 503-222-6333 or visit diamorelaw.com to schedule a free consultation. They're committed to fighting for the justice and compensation you deserve right here in Portland. And now, ladies, let's get into it. What do we need to know in LO?
Well, we've heard that the Jewel Box is getting ready to open up, and if any of you know Lisa Shaw Ryan, you've probably been to Chucky Pies or Casa Pequeñas, so this is an anticipated opening that we think is going to get some announcements coming up soon. Everybody enjoys going to the Saturday market that's at Millennium Park Plaza, but want folks to know that there is a Sunday market once a month at Lake Grove. The first Sunday of the month, please take a look at Lake Grove through November. Relationships are very important in Lake Oswego, and this is a way to make connections. And certainly for our chamber members, coming to Friday networking is always a connection for everybody. We have folks who have come and didn't exactly step right in and introduce themselves, and now they are connected to more people around than they ever have been. Heather, tell about your Friday morning networking experience.
Friday morning networking is my way of, one, coming home to friends and almost family, right? Now that I've been going for so many years, but also I get to go each week. There's a different location that we go to, and I just feel like it's a wonderful way to get to know the businesses that are here in Lake Oswego. And if you really care about shopping local and supporting local, then this is your opportunity to do that, because different businesses host. You can find out what products or services or just who they are and why they do what they do. And I think that's such a special thing here. And they're so warm and welcoming. For if you're shy at all, you do not need to worry. You will be brought right on into the fold. And it's just really welcoming. And I just can't recommend them enough.
If you're brand new to the area, especially, just go. It's an instant group of people to have to help you.
And we're signing up right now for the 2025 hosts. And with 450 members, but only 50 Fridays, we fill up pretty quickly. So if you're interested in hosting a Friday networking, now's the time to call in and grab your date.
And of course, all this information, all the website links, everything you need to know will also be on our show notes. Well, thank you so much, Heather and Liz. This was great. We have a lot of great information. And coming up next, because it's such a big event, we're going to be doing a bonus episode, which is all about the 2024 LO Wine Walk on Saturday, October 5th. All the must-know info to be ready for that. It is going to be amazing. And I also want to thank again our sponsor of this episode, Tom Diamore and Diamore Law Group, for helping us get this podcast up and running. And until next time, remember, every day is a Chamber of Commerce Day here in Lake Oswego.
The Lake Oswego Chamber of Commerce thanks you for listening to Business LO. We would love to have you as a member so you can help Lake Oswego continue to be one of the best places to live, work, and play. If you want to share an idea for a future episode or become a member, visit us at lakeoswegochamber.com, and please like and follow us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And for help with your business podcast, go to modcastproductions.com.